Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, virtual farmers, YouTube subscribers. How are y'all doing? Happy Saturday. Well, it is Saturday night here, and I got a couple hours to kill. Sounds like I might have to go out snow plowing here in a little bit. So, in the meantime, I've spent a lot of time snow plowing this week. I plowed for 26 hours straight, Monday into Tuesday. Did another 6 to 8 Thursday into Friday. It looks like I'm going out again. So I've got snow plowing on my mind. And I've seen some people talking about snow plowing on FS22. Figure, well, shoot. I know plowing. I've been doing it for 17 years. So I can give you guys some tips and tricks if you want to learn how to plow snow like a pro. Said it without messing it up. That's important. Alright, anyway, so you really don't have a lot of options for snow removal equipment in the game. It's pretty subpar at this point, but it's better than nothing. The only way to play with snow in FS19 was to be using seasons, which is now incorporated into 22, which was a nice change. So you do have three different choices for snow removal plows. You have a small V plow, which is for small tractors. You have a medium-sized, or it's kind of a large-sized straight blade, a large V plow, and then you also have the snow blower. So I'm going to always choose the V plow over the straight blade because the V plow is more versatile. You can do more with it. It only costs $1,000 more. It is just a tiny bit bigger too. So, real quickly, I do run a Logitech G923 steering wheel. I also have a full Logitech X56 Rhino HOTAS flight stick and throttle quadrant for playing Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I do have a lot of controls at my disposal. I'm going to be doing another video shortly about a hidden feature in the game called reverse by braking, which if you play with a steering wheel, I strongly recommend you try using reverse by braking. I'll go more into that video. I want to keep this kind of short, kind of get you guys some tips and tricks about plowing the right way and the wrong way. And so let's just go ahead and get into it. So let me get this thing fired up here. We'll need some lights. Alright, so I am down on the bottom of the map, southwest corner basically. Scroll up, I'll show you guys on the big map. So here I am, I'm at, basically field 67. So we've kind of got a big zigzag going on here. So this is a really good place to kind of show you guys what you can and cannot do in the game. The biggest disappointment I have is the fact that you cannot use the plows regardless of which one are you using. You cannot do backdragging, which is where you would actually come up to a building, put your blade down, and pull the snow away by driving reverse. Can't do it. So that's a little unrealistic, but it is what it is. So we'll just stick to the kind of basics here. So number one, the main goal is to get the snow away from the building. You never want to plow snow towards the building because you can actually cause damage to the building by having a pile sit there. If you have a pile sitting up against the building as it melts, it could possibly seep between whether you've got a driveway or a parking lot. The water melting off of that pile could eventually work its way down through the foundation into the basement and start causing issues. So you never want to plow snow towards a building. So if you're doing this, and see now I've got a full plow of snow and it's spilling off the left hand side. As soon as you see that windrow start to spill off, pull away from the building a little bit. Go ahead, get to your dump site, dump that plow, go ahead and back up, and then keep going. That's the only way you're going to keep that snow from piling up, is you have to work within the limits of the plow. So as long as you don't have too much snow in front of you, you're going to get a nice clean scrape, get it away from the building. Now, we could back all the way up there and keep pushing the snow to the right, forward, reverse, when there's times you need to do that. Like for this section here, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the snow away from the building. Now I'm going to keep working it from left to right. My next pass. So the next the next tip is, on a plow like this, you're probably only going to be able to use about 3/4 of the plow before you start having spillage back off the left-hand side. So try and line up like right where the logo stops. See on the left-hand side how it says Olympic 330 or whatever it is. So that vertical piece coming off the back of the moldboard is called a rib. So you want to kind of line your plow up on that rib with the end of the snow windrow from the last pile. So, but if you get something like this where you do have a little spillage, that's where the advantage of the V plow comes in, because you can literally put in the V, or the scoop mode as they call it, and you can go up and keep that snow contained inside your blade and clean it up. The V, or the straight blade, you're more than likely it's going to spill off to one side or another, just based on the way the physics of the game are, which is why I prefer to use the V plow. It's a little bit more user-friendly once you can get past the controls. The controls for it are a little funky. I'm still not totally happy or used to my setup for that yet, but like I said, it beats a straight blade any day. I'll never run a straight blade unless it's got wings, but we don't have that option in this game, so I'm not going to talk about that. So again, did I get my snowblower stuck? Oh, come on. Alright, try it again. Alright. So we'll keep about 3/4 of the blade in the white. We'll push it, and we'll stack it. Now, I could back up all the way, but I'm not going to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to reverse, and I'm going to change the angle of my blade, and I'm going to push back going in the other direction. It is much more efficient to plow going both ways than it is to plow and only going one direction. Now, that's not always possible. You could have something on one side that prevents you from doing that, I understand, but if you are working out in the middle of the open and you can do something like that, do it. Now, you might have something like this. This is where the game is kind of limiting the plow, because the plow is still considered an implement, so it's kind of like having a front loader bucket. It has capacity on it. So, and it seems like the snow has way more volume than silage does, so it tends to fill up quite quickly. So it doesn't react 100% correctly, but it's close enough. I mean, it gets you an experience. So it doesn't look like we have much snow on the ground, but clearly the game thinks we have a lot more than we really do. So if you are running into a situation like that where you keep doing that, there's two things you can do. One, you can change it up and you can plow 90 degrees to the way you were plowing in the shortest direction to keep your plow from basically overloading faster. You can run a longer time, but because of that building back there, we're going to have to do all the plowing in this direction. The other thing you can do is what is called a slot plow. And a slot plow is basically when you overload that plow, the next time you come down, you're actually going to go on the opposite side of your pile. And it's going to be a relief pile, but they call it the slot. So let's just go ahead and get this cleaned up nicely real quick. Alright, I'm just going to dump it off there. Going to turn around. So I'm going to get like one nice little windrow on the right hand side to demonstrate. gonna put it in scoop to keep the snow away from that silo, or attempt to. In real life, I wouldn't stack that there, but just for simplicity for the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna windrow to the left, but I'm gonna keep the right side of my blade up against, but not taking, that windrow I just created. So the advantage of slot is it basically creates two walls for you. And it also gives you a little bit of relief because you're not pushing that same pile over constantly. So it actually did do a cleaner job. So now I can come back again. Beep, 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 backing up, backing up, backing up. Okay. Oh, I did it again. So now I can push it this way, and I have enough relief so I'm not overloading my plow and spilling it over onto the right-hand side of the plow. So that is a way to overcome long pushes in heavy conditions. Just do a slot plow. They use that in construction for running dozers. That's how they push big amount of material very long distances without having to constantly be following the trails or the spoils. And I just realized I should not be plowing this way because I'm too busy talking. Oh well, like I said, we're just showing you guys some tips and tricks, right? So the other thing you could do when you get really long heavy pushes like that is you could switch to your snowblower. Right? That would work. The only bad thing about the snowblower is you are capped at 6 miles an hour, where you can be plowing at up to 15. I mean, yeah, you're not going to have to touch the snow again as long as you can get it in the remotely correct place. And the weird thing is, it doesn't really there's a limit of how far it can throw the snow and keep it in the area. See, like right now, if I look, you don't see it falling anywhere. But if I come down a little bit, all of a sudden, boom, you hit like a invisible pile, basically, and it just starts pouring. So it is fun to play with the snowblower, but it's really, really slow. But at the same time, if you do have just a big, wide open area, maybe you opened up your own farm and you just have a ton of snow to get rid of, just put that chute up all the way, you'll never see that snow again. So, a little unrealistic, but it is an option for you guys. Alright, so I kind of want to talk about the things in real life that we absolutely, or that I don't do because you shouldn't, because it's also illegal, but I see it all the time and it drives me nuts. So in real life, and I guarantee you're going to see this if you live in a state that gets a lot of snow, is you're going to see some Yahoo and a dude in a pickup truck that's got no logos on it, probably just plowing for beer money. And he says, oh, the easiest thing to do is for me to take this snow and I'm going to push it across the street and I'm going to put it right here. Right? We've all seen it. That's illegal, and it's actually fineable. And the reason for that is, so the game doesn't show it because for some reason it does not allow snow to collect on the roadways. But if I push that pile, basically where the tire tracks are, I leave a pile right here, and I leave a pile right here. If I didn't clean that up, and a car was coming through, and you know, they're cooking it, whoa, and they hit those piles, one, they're either gonna damage their car, or two, they're losing control, possibly maybe even go through the fence, hit this telephone pole, boom, they're hurt, they're dead, you're getting sued, and you're probably gonna lose your car. You cannot plow into what's called a right-of-way. You cannot do it. It's totally illegal. By me, where I was at my previous job, the police were fining us. I had one plow truck driver who continued to do this, and he ended up getting, I think it was like $1,800 in fines in 2 weeks. I think they were maybe $400 or $500 a pop, But he got it several times, and he kept telling me, "Oh, I've been doing this for 25 years. I know what I'm doing." Clearly, you don't, because you keep getting fined, and I'm not paying your fines anymore because you've been warned so many times. He ended up quitting, but so the other thing is you can't bury fire hydrants. Fire hydrants is another big no-no. It's also a very expensive fine. I think it's the most expensive fine there is. I spent 8 hours one night undigging fire hydrants. It's not fun, and it's illegal, and if you think the police won't notice, I guarantee you, if you drive by, or if the fire department drives by and sees it, they are calling the police, and then the police will come and get you for it. Alright, so the other thing don't do is don't pile snow at the entrance of a driveway or anywhere leading out to a street. Also a finable offense. And that is because if I'm in, say, oh, I'm in my buddy's Reliant Robin, or, you know, Honda Civic, or Tesla something, whatever kind of crap Tesla makes now. You come out here, I need to see if a car is coming. I can't see if they're coming or not. I'm just going to chance it. Pull out and whammo, I get hit by a car. Guess who's getting sued? You are lucky winner of a snow pile lawsuit. So those are just things in mind. Snow plowing isn't hard. You just have to be smart. The number one thing I can suggest is before you even start plowing a place, if you're trying to play it realistically as a simulator, is before you even drop your plow on the ground, take a minute, drive around, see what there is on site, see what there's not, and figure out how can I push the snow to somewhere where I won't have to end up pushing it again. So work from your building out, but also find your hard to find spots or your tight spots where you have a hard time getting the snow out of that area, where the snow's got to be removed, whether it's between cars, in front of a building. Get that snow away first, and then working on your easy to do open areas. It'll end up saving you time in the long run, so then you're not chasing small little piles through your open areas that you just spent a lot of time doing. Get the hard stuff out of the way first, save the big easy stuff for next. Alright, I think that's a long enough video for this. Like I said, I'm going to drop a video right after this about the reverse by braking function, tell you what that is, how I learned about it, and why I will never go back to not using it. So, anyways, take care. I'm going to get that video ready. I'm going to grab some dinner, and I'm going out plowing. Have a great night, guys.